Alrighty guys, welcome to Rolling Adventures, dice game and scorecards for traveling home. Today we will be talking about the game Yeehaw. Alright, in the beginning you've got the rules for play right here. But I'm going to go through it just a little bit more in depth here. Alright, so we've got several different spaces here for the players' names to go. So depending on how many people you've got playing, if there's just the two of you, you can play a game here and then a game here and then a game here. And if you've got more than that, 3, you got 2 games out of this page, however many you can get. Alright, on this top section here, you can get points by collecting 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, or 6s. You do that by rolling the dice and selecting whichever one of these you pick. Let's say the 1s, selecting the 1s out of that first roll, roll it again, select the 1s out of that second roll, roll it again, select the 1s out of that third roll, and then however many 1s you've got after 3 rolls is the amount of points you've got there. You try to get as many points as you can for each one, trying to get, can you see that? Oh yeah, trying to get these scores right here. So if you score anywhere from 60 to 69 in this top row, you get an extra 35 points, but if you get 70 points or more, you get 40 extra points. Alright, let's talk about this bottom section here. What we've got are 3 of a kin, 4 of a kin, a full barn, small cattle drive, large cattle drive, last chance roundup, yeehaw, and yeehaw bonus. Alright, so for 3 of a kin, all you need to have are 3 of the same number on the dice, and you can keep the total of those 3 numbers plus the total of the other 2 dice that are left over. So you tally them all up, and that'll be your score for that one. For the 4 of a kin, you need 4 of the same dice, and so you get to keep the total of those 4 dice plus the total of what's left over on that 5th dice. For a full barn, you need a 2 of a kind and a 3 of a kind. It can be of any number, any combination of numbers that you can get. And for doing that, you'll get a total of 25 points in your score. Alright, for a small cattle drive, you're going to need 4 out of the 5 dice to be in sequential order. So 1 through 4, 2 through 5, or 3 through 6. And then you get a total of 30 points if you accomplish that. For a large cattle drive, you need to have all 5 dice in sequential order. So that can be 1 through 5 or 2 through 6. And if you can accomplish that, you get 40 extra points. For last chance roundup, you can tally up all the dice together, and whatever that tally is for all the dice at the end of your turn is how much points you get for your last chance roundup. For Yeehaw, you need all 5 dice to be the same number. It doesn't have to be in the same roll, but it has to be in the same turn. So if you can get all 5 dice, no matter 1 through 6, you get a total of 50 points. If you can accomplish that several times in a game, you get an additional bonus of 100 points every time you do it. After you've completed the whole game, you tally up the lower section and put the tally here. You tally up the top section and put the total from that right here. You add it up, and whoever ends up with the most points at the end of the game wins. Alright, let's talk about the Yeehaw bonuses. If you get a bonus during a game, the way we play it is you get an additional turn that other people who don't get the bonuses get. So if you got the bonus, then that means for that turn you didn't fill out one of the original spots. So you get an additional turn at the end of the game to fill out whichever spot was left over from you getting that. And the other players don't get that turn if they didn't get the extra Yeehaw bonuses. Now you don't have to decide at the beginning of your turn which one of these you're going to try for. You roll the dice and see what comes up and decide from there. And each turn and at each point during your turn, you can change your mind and go for something else, and whatever you feel like would work best for you during that turn. You Once you've rolled the dice and selected out which dice you want to keep from that, during your additional rolls, you don't get to pull that back in and roll it again. You have to keep the dice out of the additional rolls for that turn. Alright, thanks for joining me for rules and gameplay video on the game Yeehaw from the book Rolling Adventures.